So what's up? What's up? You're here with your boy E20. I appreciate you checking out the video. Today, what we're gonna talk about is living for other people. Um, so this is something I've done for a long time in my life. I have. You might see me keep glancing up at the monitor up above, and I can see what I look like, but my eyes need to be at this camera. So sorry, I apologize ahead of time. But no, the topic I wanted to talk about today was just living for other people, meaning so we go through life and we catch ourselves trying to impress so many people, and I think it's just like a natural instinct, and we all have them, whether you believe it or not. Even people who seem super successful and they have all these fancy things. In the back of their mind, a lot of times they're just still unhappy because they don't feel like they've impressed a lot of people because they're comparing themselves to other people, what they have, what they're doing, their success, their failures. Like, we are always constantly comparing ourselves to other people. And a lot of times the comparisons be unfair. So what I mean by that is we're comparing ourselves to people that are in a different realm for whatever reason. And we may have some benefits that they don't have, or something going on in our life that they wish was going on in their life. Um, but you'll never know it because you're just blindsided by the fact that they're so much better or successful, or they have the things you desire to have. So in life, nobody's really just happy. I don't care how much money you have, what materialistic things you have, how your relationship's going or not going. Um, but back to the topic more of living for other people is like, I remember in high school, people used to make fun of me a little bit. I ain't had a flyest gear. You know what I mean? I didn't have the new shoes, the new J's, or the new pullover coats. Everybody's rocking pullover coats back then. Your favorite NBA team or NFL team or whatever it may be. But I made do. And I had a cousin who was better off. You know what I mean? He was well off. His father was real successful, and they had this big old nice house. And when it came time to get a vehicle, he had, the nicest vehicle, had rims on it, and, the loud sound system, and everybody was just kind of like, man, he's rich. And that was like my cousin, my close cousin, you know what I mean? I'm like, I wanted that feeling because I had the opposite. I was borrowing his clothes and I was rolling them up at the bottom and the top. Somebody lift up my shirt, I'm busted. You know what I mean? So they was cuffed for real like 3-4 times at the bottom because he was bigger than me and I'm super little. So I had a desire to show people that I was just as wealthy, and not from not from like financially. I didn't mean I had just as much money, but I wanted to be just as much important, popular, and thought of in the same manner. Um, so it was difficult because I was doing a lot of things extra. Like, I was trying to work a job when I got off work, or paper route on the weekends, delivering newspapers back then, if you can believe I was that old. But I was just hustling as much as I could to be able to buy myself those things because my parents weren't able to buy them for me. So he wanted something, he just got it. I wanted something, I had to go work for it. Now remember, we had mopeds back then, and I had the first moped, and I had one of those ones where you get on it and you gotta pedal that thing to get it started, and it looked like a bicycle with funny, what I mean, wires all around it and stuff, and a little motor and exhaust on it, and it was cool because it was like something I worked for and I got, and the new ones came out. Back then they had Razzes and Jogs, and man, the new moped came out, and he got one. And I was like looking at him like a week or two before he even got one. I just didn't say nothing. I'm like, man, one day I'd like to have one of those. And when he got his, I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. You know what I mean? Like, I saw it and he was riding it through the neighborhood and he was so happy and I was happy for him. But I was like, I gotta get me one. So I saved up my money and I got one, and Then when it was time for us to get a car, like I said, he had the nice car. Everybody was like, "Oh my God!" He was driving nicer cars than most parents was driving, and so I had to go get a car, and I had to have my car stand out. And I think that's one of the things that started to trigger for me. Like, man, you worked hard and you got this, and now you got something that you're really standing out about. Um, what else can you do? You know what I mean? So I'm the class clown in class, and I'm making people laugh, and I'm becoming a little bit popular. I was small, still small. I said it was all, like I used to be small. I was small though, and so I didn't make the basketball team, but I feel like I could hoop. I can hoop a little bit. Trust me, I can still hoop and ball out some of y'all right now. But anyway, I wasn't on the basketball team. The football team didn't really work out for me. I wasn't trying to be the hit stick. You know what I mean? People trying to prove something, picking on the smaller guys. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to cracking jokes in the class. But so I'm developing these belief systems of living for other people. Like I'm being judged by other people, and I want to be judged well. Um, so let me fast forward a little bit. So now back to the car. I got the nice car. I had a red Beretta. Um, I live in Elkhart, Indiana, and back then, drugs was like real popular. There was so many drug dealers on every corner, every neighborhood. It was, we were what? I should have did my research, but at one point, Elkhart, Indiana was like the highest murder rate for a while. I mean, drugs was booming, people was killing and fighting, and just it was something going on at all times. But I stood out to the drug to like the doughboys. They was like, who is you? What is you doing? Riding like that. But my red Beretta had these rims on it, and I had the white walls on them, and I ain't tint the windows because everybody needed to see me coming through in that thing, and it was crazy. And it, like my desire to live for other people and be judged higher grew higher and higher. Before you know it, and I hate to keep fast forwarding, but for the lack of, um, taking up too much of y'all time, I had like 5 vehicles. I had, I got a $10,000 watch. I'm probably gonna go grab it real quick to show y'all. But I had a $10,000 watch. I put an $8,000 charm that said my nickname on my chest, and I'm just, I'm competing in any way, shape, or form, and I'm trying to stand out. I'm outdoing people. So yeah, before I know it, I had 5 vehicles. I had a truck, I had a Lexus, I had a motorcycle, I had a Benz. I had what else did I have? I had another vehicle. I had vehicles parked around the city because I didn't have a place to put them. But I just wanted people to know that, yeah, I got whips. You know what I mean? Y'all make fun of me back in the day. I ain't had no jeans to wear, or I ain't have, the fly shoes or whatever. But I kept the ones I did clean with that toothbrush. But they are not the one paying the insurance on the cars, the maintenance, the car payments if there was some. You know what I mean? They're not the one that's buying these expensive clothes and stuff like that. And wow, the sun just went down. I don't know if y'all can notice that, but so what the whole message really is today is sometimes we catch ourselves doing all this just to be judged by people who really don't even care. Like they don't care if you're doing good or you're doing bad. They'd rather you be doing good a little bit lower than them, less than them, but they would like to see you do good. But if you're doing great, so be it. You got lucky or whatever. It's just tough to see people still do it because I know the feeling. And sometimes I catch myself still doing it too. It's a hard thing to unlearn and to realize we're actually doing. But life could be so much easier because I have a friend who, he's got a decent car. He's got a nice car, but he ain't got 5. You know what I mean? He don't need 5. He's living in his means and he's more comfortable because he's trying to impress less. And to me, it impresses me. Like, he don't care about all that extra. Who needs a charm for $8,000? You know what he could do with $8,000? I start to think like that. Like, what would he do with $8,000? Would he buy a necklace and a chain that says E20 on it? No, like he ain't got to do that. You know what I mean? Would he buy all? would he buy a $10,000 watch or a nice $200 watch? You know what I mean? Like they both tell time. Actually, my $10,000 watch don't even tell time. I gotta take it to get service, put a new battery in it, cleaned and all that, and it looks really nice. But I just wear it sometimes just because I like to wear it. It goes with the swag that if I decide to dress up that day like that. Um, but it's all to impress somebody and to try to look cool. And we don't realize at times that we're still just as cool. Like we still bring value to the table because we don't have a title at our job or a fancy car or watch or necklace. Doesn't mean that we can't have the same value. Standing in a room full of people just chatting, having a drink, you don't bring your 5 cars into that room. Okay, so sorry about that. My battery died, and since my battery died, I wanted to go up there and grab. Uh, Here's my watch right here. It's a Joe Rodeo watch. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's if you try to look up Joe Rodeo, don't do me bogus now. I'm trying to get it to zoom in. Anyway, it's the 17.4 karat watch. So yeah. Anyways, this is my watch I was talking about. This is my finest piece of jewelry though. It was on my vision board for a long time. I don't know if I can get you to see it a little bit, but it's a nice little piece or whatever. But it was something that was, like I said, on my vision board for a long time, and it was really nice. It freaked me out actually. I'll tell y'all that story real quick. So I had a little office in my apartment that I had, and one day, this was after I purchased the watch. I'm just sitting there thinking, and I listened to a lot of audio, to kind of learn some stuff, and it was law of attraction and stuff. And I looked behind me at my vision board just to look at it, and it scared the mess out of me that it was the same watch. And I was at Lil Wayne's concert, and he shook my hand, and I saw his watch. It was like it was in slow motion, and it said Joe Rodeo on it. Like, no BS. And ever since then, I'm like, oh, I gotta get me a Joe Rodeo one day. Ended up getting the same watch that Lil Wayne had on that was on my vision board. It's the same watch, except the watch on the vision board didn't have the diamonds in the band. And mine does. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, are you kidding me? And I look down, I'm wearing a watch. I used to wear it all the time. And I just ran out of the house. Ran out because I was so scared. I was like, I don't know, the feeling it made me feel was crazy. I just ran out of the house and like my heart beating fast, and I'm outside like something was in the house trying to get me. But it was just crazy how the law of attraction works in your life. Like we bring in, and I mean this would be something for another video, but yeah, my watch that was on my vision board, I ended up buying it not even knowing it was the same watch, and when I realized it, it just scared the mess out of me. But real quick before we go, here's the E20 charm. That's my nickname, so I had to get the charm. And Johnny Dang made this for me. And the chain is like a $25 chain because it's the only chain that's sturdy enough, or something that can hold a heavy charm like that. But anyway, all that stuff was really because I just started being egotistic a little bit. Like, okay, y'all want to play? Like, I'll play. Y'all want to make fun of me for not having nothing? I'll go get all this stuff. Like, and it made my life become something that I wasn't even enjoying, because it was always the stress of making sure everyone thought I had something. You know what I mean? Because the feeling of not having nothing is how I felt for a long time. So it was just started to be a program in my brain that never let someone second guess you being a bum or being without or being down and out, or you know what I mean. And so I started carrying $2, $3, $4, $5,000 in my pocket everywhere you go, and people wouldn't even know. But unless I had to pull it out and pay for something, you know what I mean. I remember one time I was out with my friend. I don't even remember where we at, but he kind of gave me that look. Same dude that wouldn't spend. You know what I mean? That much money on a watch. You know what I mean? He bought a $200 watch. He looked at me like, fool, what is wrong with you? And sorry if you hear my cats at the door. They're trying to get in here. They want to be on TV too, but maybe one day. What was I saying? Oh, so the moral of the story pretty much is we all got to understand that we have value that a lot of people may not show us, meaning like because you're not being rewarded for the value you do have right now doesn't mean that you have to go around trying to impress people to get recognition for your value. So focus on what really makes you truly happy yourself because that's what's most important. Um, I don't even wear this $10,000 watch or this $8,000 charm that much. But I mean, if you have things that make you happy that you want to buy, that's different than buying it to just impress people or to show people that like, oh yeah, so and so got that new car. I got this one now. You know what I mean? You buy that car because that's the car that you enjoy for the reasons you enjoy it. Um, like you know what I mean? Like so and so got 10 pairs of shoes. You know what I mean? He wears a new pair every day or a different pair every day. You ain't gotta go buy 10 pairs of shoes. You got a pair of shoes you like and you just wear them every day. So be it. Um, just a competition thing. We don't understand what's going on in everybody's lives. So there's no need to live for other people. Live for yourself. Do what makes you happy because that's solely what makes you happy. Um, Buy what you can afford to buy. Live within your means and be happy. There's millionaires and multi-millionaires who are very successful, but their personal life is horrible. They're very unhappy. Um, they're trying to compete with other multi-millionaires. So and so got a new jet. Oh, I didn't even want a jet, but he's getting popular and all this attention. Let me start looking at jets. You start wasting your money and forgetting what life is all about. Love the people you love. Spend time with your loved ones and the people close to you. Enjoy those memories that you can make because at the end of the day, that's all you can take with you and that's all you can leave um, here on Earth when you're gone. So um, live for yourself. Peace. So 40 in my right car, business change.